Hello, everyone, and welcome to another beautiful edition of the card readings with Sarah Hall. And this is the new moon, so happy new moon to everybody. Also, happy hump day because today is, of course, a Wednesday. Looking forward to the later week, the latter days of the week. So, thank you all for joining us. Of course, if you've tuned into Project Bring Me to Life before, you definitely know who Sarah Hall is. We've had her on the podcast many times, and she's done a lot of card readings for us, so it's definitely a pleasure to have her back. And also, she's been certified by Doreen Virtue herself. Oh my goodness, yes she is. So it's a wonderful pleasure to have you on again, Sarah.
Thank you, CeeLo. It's a pleasure to be back. I love doing card readings with you guys for these things. It's so fun.
Yeah, it is. You had the original idea to do these, so thank you for
Oh
that
yeah,
seed.
I remember that conversation. That's so funny. I remember that was after one of our first interviews. So
Yeah,
here we are now. That's great.
yeah. Great. So I guess go ahead and get into your thing, and we'll just hang out here in the backstage.
All right, that sounds great. So, hi everybody. As you all know, today is we're moving into our full moon. The full moon, I think, is officially or full moon, new moon tomorrow. But know that the 3 days before and 3 days after, a big, kind of lunar shift, you're still kind of in that energy. You're building up to it, and then you're kind of cascading out of it. So, this new moon energy is definitely here now, and it's one that has been quite emotionally intense for a lot of people, actually. This has been an emotional time, probably since about very late last week, maybe towards the weekend, up until, even now it's still going on. And part of the reason for that, if any of you follow what's going on astrologically, a lot of planets, or several planets that have moved into the sign Cancer. And this new moon is also going to be in the sign of Cancer. Cancer is known for being a very emotionally sensitive card, which can be a good thing, certainly. But it can also be an intense thing, especially when there's so much energy that's coming from that Cancer side of life. But there is a purpose to that. There's a positive purpose to what we're experiencing right now. And that positive purpose is that this Cancer energy, this new moon's energy, is causing us to really lift up old emotions and to clear them from us. The particular theme that I've been kind of picking up on with this emotional vulnerability and sensitivity is that it's here to help strengthen us. It's here to help pretty much lift away any old limiting crutches that we've had emotionally, any old limiting, maybe beliefs that we've had that have kept us thinking, oh, I'm not good enough to do that, or I'm not strong enough to do that, or I'm too young, or I'm too old, or too tired, or some of the things that we'll tell ourselves to hold ourselves back. They're saying these old beliefs that we've used to, again, kind of mask or shroud our feelings of vulnerability or our fears of fear success, are now being asked to come into the light, and for us to be challenged to really release them and let them go, because their time is over. We're walking through a gate right now that we can't go backwards through. So there's some changes going on, and they start internally. They start with you first. So the message that's coming through collectively at this time is, don't be afraid to face your feelings. And certainly when you've got a lot of emotional vulnerability going on, it can be something that's intense, and certainly treat yourself with gentleness and, retreat if you need to. But within that self-care, know that we're not stuffing down our feelings. We're not pushing them away or hiding from them. We're giving ourselves that space so that we can really listen to what those strong emotions are telling us, and to put away those crutches, those emotional crutches, and learn how to walk on our own without them, because your angels are saying that you are ready. The time is now, and you are ready to step forward. And they're saying, by the way, that these changes or emotional things that you're being challenged to release are actually coming as a result of prayers and intentions that you have set. So this is the answer to what you've been asking for. So let's go ahead and face what is coming in our lives at this time, and the new moon will be here to help us to do it. The new moon is also a great time for setting intentions. It's our time traditionally for planting new seeds. So I always think of it as a great time to do some journaling, maybe write a list of certain things that you would like to manifest or that you'd like to become maybe more aware of in your mind, different practices you'd like to hold consciously, such as I am going to hold the practice to release judgment, for example, in life, or to be more compassionate and loving towards people that maybe usually annoy me. Little things like that. Great time to plant those seeds. So it's a fresh new beginning. And with that, I am so looking forward to seeing what kind of questions you guys brought today in the chat room. So with no further ado, let's turn over to our questions in the chat room and see what guidance your angels have for you today.
All right. So yeah, if anybody is listening, you can join the chat room at projectbringmelife.com. And when you get to the homepage, there's a big picture with, Sarah, and it says card readings. Just click that and scroll down, and the chat room's right there. Or you can go to chatwing.com/PBM2L podcast. And yeah, we'll see you there. Also, you can just comment on the video on YouTube, and we can get it that way. So make sure you go ahead and do that. And so our first question from Rosanna is, she says, I'm going to move to a new place, maybe even a new country. And also, she wants to know about a new job. And I guess whatever deck you feel guided to pull for her.
Okay, great. So, Rosanna, I am feeling guided to work with my Archangel's Oracle card deck for you. And today I'm working with the Archangel's Oracle card deck as well as the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck. So when you ask your question, if you want to request one, you can do that, or we could just kind of pull them intuitively. So I'm going to go ahead and pull 3 cards for Rosanna, representing a little storyboard for us, giving us a sense of the beginning of the message that the angels have, the middle or maybe the present circumstances, and the end or where she is going in life. And you can do all this sort of thing at home too, everybody. This is a great thing that anybody can do, truly. So as I turn over these cards, I love this because the first card that I pulled is creative writing. And Rosanna, for you, your guides are saying that you have something to communicate to the world. They're saying that you have leadership abilities in communication as well. They're saying too that you have really good abilities to work with children. They're showing us a connection with young people, perhaps doing something that feels like it would be teaching them or helping them in some way. So I would, kind of consider options like that with regard to your job. And it feels like your job is the thing that will frame where your move will go in the future. So set your intentions and focus your energy on your job at this time, and on searching your heart for what sort of occupations would really, really answer to your passions. And they're saying to hold your standards high. They're saying hold your standards high, particularly with regard to finances and how you're going to be taken care of in the job, because they're saying that that's part of your passion too, being taken care of and being balanced in all areas of your life, so that you can have more, kind of freedom of your time and your resources, so that you can really go after this life purpose of yours. So to kind of delve a little bit further into it, they want you to know that this would be a really great time to do some journaling and soul searching through writing, to help to find, your passions and the kinds of jobs that will really speak to those passions. And again, it feels like something that has to do with communicating. And communicators can be teachers, they can be journalists, they can write blogs and so forth. But anything that feels as if you are, kind of involved in a project where you maybe get to take a leading role would be great. So our next card, as I turn it over, is so synchronistic because we have the leadership card. Whoop, there we go. Leadership. And that's something that came up already in the energy of the last card, which is really great. So this is a big sign saying that you are a leader, and that you have the ability to assume a leadership position in the next job that you have. Whether that means, again, maybe teaching other people something, managing other people in some sort of a project that maybe involves, again, communication or writing, something like that. This is the sort of thing that you are really meant to do. And again, they are showing us these little signs of maybe younger people. So even if it is like a form of working with younger people that isn't maybe directly teaching or something like that, but it is something that is maybe geared towards a message for children or writing for children or young people, that feels like it's an area that you'd be really, really creative and very, very helpful in. So that's your second message. And I love it because actually both of these cards are Archangel Gabriel cards. Each of these cards tells us which archangel they come from, and both of them are Gabriel cards. So know that Archangel Gabriel must be very, very close with you at this time, and you can call on her for help. She is our communication angel, after all. So pulling the final card, this is really great too because it's echoing what we were saying before about children. This is the Indigo and Crystal Children card. So this is a sign that you are meant to be very helpful, particularly with children who are sensitive. It looks like you have the ability to nurture them and to heal them in a positive way. So if there's any healing work that you can do with children, whether it's some sort of therapy, again, maybe it's a form of teaching or reaching out to them, communicating to them in some way that you have a special talent with children, particularly the ones in these new generations who are very spiritually sensitive. And for those of you who don't know, Indigo and Crystal children represent new generations of children who are spiritually gifted. So the Indigo children were born somewhat around this, from the 70s through the 80s, maybe a few trickling in the early 90s or so, but Indigo children, and there have been Indigo children born before and will be born after that. It's just that was the largest sort of bell curve of Indigo children that came through in the present time. So many of them are grown up now, but there's still some of them who are young. And the Indigo children are noted for being very rebellious, very, very physically and emotionally sensitive. And the Crystal children are the next step after that. The Crystal children were born mostly in the 90s, some of them in the early 2000s, and they are children who are very, very, very sweet-natured, very sensitive, maybe a little bit quieter, not quite as rebellious as the Indigo children are, and have a strong affinity towards music, have a strong connectivity to sounds, audio. They're very clairaudient sometimes, and they're very gentle communicators, very intuitive communicators. So this is a message to you, Rosanna, that you have the ability to connect with them, and it looks like you fall into this realm as well. They're showing us that you have a lot of early crystal child energies around you as well, which feels really, really good for your abilities to connect with those that have this. Now, with regard to your question to moving, the angels again want to assure you that they want you to move in the timing that you find your next job. It looks like there is an ability to work in a different country. It feels like maybe a place where you have roots, family roots, your heritage roots, something like that. They're showing us roots. And it feels like there is an ability to work in this place and to be compensated well, they're saying. So really cast your nets out, search and see what opportunities are out there. Or certainly they're saying you can look around where you are now too, or maybe in a few other little places, just to have some comparisons as to what are the opportunities in these different places. But again, the move is shaped by the job. So good luck with everything that you're doing. And keep the faith, have courage that everything that you are praying for is coming about, and it's coming about in divine order. So call on your angels for help as you go, especially Archangel Gabriel. Thank you for your question, Rosanna. So let's go ahead and move on to our next question, if we are ready for doing that.
Okay, so yeah, thank you, Rosanna, for the question. And our next one is going to be, we actually have, let's see, 3, 4, about 5 people in line right now. And this next one is from Ashton, who is listening, and he would like the Mermaids and Dolphins deck, and he just wants to know about some love. A love interest?
All right, awesome. The Mermaid and Dolphin deck was a good choice for this because, and I chose this today because it is a deck that helps us with deep emotions and deep subconscious feelings. So that was, I'm glad that he was gravitating towards that. So let's go ahead and shuffle, and I'm going to pull 3 cards representing the storyboard. And you know what? I'm actually feeling really guided to pull a 4th card, so I'm going to pull a 4th card as well. And let's dive right in. I'm going to turn over the cards, and they're showing us that it looks like this is all working out in divine order. They're giving us a sign of be patient and slow down. Be very, very in the present moment with this love situation. It feels like this is a time to really, really rest and kind of in the present state of things. No need to jump forward into the next phase of a commitment or the next phase of growing intimacy, whatever steps may be in front of you. It feels like stay and enjoy this present time that you're in, this present phase. It feels like it's a really, really good one. And the first card that represents all of this is the Tranquility card. And this is the card that really says it's time to be in the present moment, and it's time to just let things evolve very, very slowly, because it looks like there's a lot of shifting and changing emotions, feelings, priorities, desires on both sides, on your side and on the other person's side. So just indulge in, the enjoyment of letting yourself take it slow for now. The second card that we get is the Stay Optimistic card. It's saying that despite that things may develop a little bit more slowly, that your dreams are coming true, or that if you are willing to wait it out with this person, that things will grow. Things really will grow, but it may take a while. It feels like the other person in this situation may be in a state of healing. It looks like they may be getting over either a past breakup or going through some kind of changes still emotionally in their heart. And they're saying to just keep yourself very present with this person, and again, allow things to manifest slowly, and it will pay off. It feels like that growth and that chemistry, as well as the trust being one of the most important things to develop between the two of you, will slowly grow, and it will be a beautiful ride, a beautiful journey to get to that place of increased closeness. So don't quit before the miracle. Wait and just allow things to develop. The next card that we have is the Synchronicity card. And this card is telling us that everything that you're hoping for, desiring for, is being answered by way of synchronistic events. So notice the divine order in the situations around you. Notice the way that things are playing out. Notice when the timing seems to occur in such a way where either the two of you are brought together, or circumstances may be giving you some independent time, because that independent time is just as important when we're growing romantically with someone as the time that we spend together. Because in those first stages, you're spending time when you're independent, kind of regrouping and really letting all of the new energy kind of settle in that you've maybe connected with that person, so that you can consider what's going on the inside and think, okay, do I want this? How is this growing? Am I just checking in? So just notice the way that everything is moving and allow things to just work out very naturally in divine order, very synchronistically. The final card, that 4th card that we pulled, that I'm so glad we pulled, is the You're Being Helped card. And it's saying that heaven is on your side and is working behind the scenes to help you, even if you may not see the results yet, or maybe the situation may be unfolding in a way that is unexpected for you. This is a very positive sign, saying that your angels are truly helping you behind the scenes, guiding you with this, and that, again, if things develop gradually, it's for the positive, trust me, because you're going to learn a lot about yourself along the way, what you want, what you desire. Things are going to refine and shift. So just be right in the present moment and enjoy the ride and know that there are heavenly energies and synchronicities behind the scenes working for you, Ashton. Thank you so much for your question. Let's go on to our next question.
All right. He's very thankful for that.
You're welcome.
Our next one comes from Jeff, and he would like the mermaids and dolphins as well.
All right.
And he would like to know what to look forward to.
What to look forward to? That's a great question. Very generalized, but is a very interesting thing. So the first thing, as I'm just shuffling the cards, Jeff, that's coming in for you is it looks like there's some sort of a change in your family. Is it that there's maybe a new member of the family coming in somewhere in your family, whether it be someone might be having a baby or someone might be getting married, or maybe that there's just a great new friendship that's kind of coming into the fold of your personal tribe or your surroundings around you. It feels like there's some sort of familial kind of relationship thing that's coming that feels like that is definitely to look forward to. So I'm going to pull our cards now to give us some further guidance with regard to this, and 3 cards from the mermaids. So our first card is Have Faith. It's saying that your prayers are manifesting in perfect divine order. And they're saying that this Have Faith card actually has to do with maybe any financial or job-related things that you've been praying about, things that you may have been considering or wanting to change, or kind of lift to the next level. They're saying have faith, remain positive, and continue following your guidance, following the guided action that you've been inspired to follow, because it is resulting in the changes that you want at this time. So that will be something truly to look forward to too, are these new changes. And again, this is kind of a similar theme to the last reading, because I'm getting this sense of there are seeds that you've planted under the surface, and we've got to be patient for them to come up. So know that with the right amount of water and sunlight and faith, those seeds will come up in perfect divine timing. Our second card is a new dawn. And the message that's coming through with this feels like it's more emotional and relationship oriented. So it wants you to know this: the worst is now behind you. If there's been, any stress that you've felt that has been maybe even a lingering stress throughout the past year or several months or something like that, the worst is behind you, and you're now moving on to positive new experiences. So hold positive expectations as far as what is to come, particularly in the sector of relationships, family stuff, and so forth. It feels like there are very positive new things coming for you. Again, really, really think of relationship things. And again, it feels very, very familial-like. So, if you're single at this time, this is a thing saying maybe there's somebody coming into your life, or if you already have a partner, maybe it's just there's something blossoming that's new within it. Big message about, positive new things on the horizon in relationships and as far as what to celebrate in the heart. Our final card is the Simplify Your Life card. And this card is coming through saying that things will be much easier now. They want you to know that things are going to be a lot simpler. It looks like you've just come through a lot of big changes, or a big, status change, or, something like that in your life. The environment around you is a little different now, maybe mentally, emotionally, and there's a stability that's coming through. Your angels keep saying stability, stability, stability is coming through for you at this time. So that is definitely something to look forward to too. They're saying you've worked hard to get to where you are, and creating the kind of mental, emotional life cycle stability that you have. And with regard to the continuing developments in the sector of your job and career, there's stability and just health that is coming for you in that area of life. So things are starting to get easier, and it'll feel like things are kind of rolling downhill now. It's easy. You're not pedaling uphill or paddling against the current. And that also means that you're manifesting things a lot faster, doesn't it? Because if you're rolling downhill or you're flowing down current, that means things are happening really fast for you. So look for these new things, whether it be in the relationship sector of life or in the career part of your life, to be kind of right around the corner for you. they're coming soon. So, and it feels, they're saying, by the way, fall. It feels like something is coming in sometime in the audience, autumn. There's a little change. So thank you, Jeff, for your question. And let's go ahead and move on to our next reading.
Wonderful. And that was actually funny because he just had a baby, so.
Wow, that's exciting.
We all had a giggle when you said, it feels like there's a new member of the family.
All right. I love it. I love it. Baby. So that's the new love of your life that's here. That's great. All right.
Yep. So the next person is Wayne. He would like the Archangel's deck.
Okay.
And he asks what is going on with his career and also how long will him and his partner Caleb be together.
Okay. So I'm going to be pulling some cards here from our Archangel's deck, just giving them a quick little shuffle. So career and partner question. So I just pulled 3 cards, and wow, this is really great. I've pulled the leadership card again, and this card for you is coming forward saying that in your career, it is time for you to be more assertive. It's time for you to start taking action. They're saying there's been a lot of thinking about things and considering and then reconsidering, or maybe sitting on your laurels or things like that. They're saying it's time to get up and really ask for what you want. Ask for what you want out of life and start taking some fresh, new, guided action along your career path in life right now. And that will really, really help you. They're saying that that's your assignment, and it is time for you to step forward with the changes that you want to make. And the only way to do it now is by hitting the pavement, taking action. It is time, and you know what to do. It feels like you've been getting little nudges in the back of your mind as far as the first steps that you can start to take with this. So think of who it is you have to talk to, and that will be the first step. It feels like there's some form of communication that you need to have first. So the second card that I pulled is the creative writing card, and the creative writing card is a card that is about our communication skills. And this, I feel, is actually pulling us into the relationship sector of things. So in your relationship with Caleb, they're saying that communication is very, very important. They're saying make some time to really talk it out and communicate over things. If there has been a lot of maybe doubting or thinking that you're struggling internally that has been going on, but you haven't been, upfront about it, it's time to just communicate your desires and be very, very clear and open, especially with, again, what it is you want. Be clear with what your expectations are and what you want. It's time for some really good, important talks to happen between the two of you. The final card that we pulled is the Crystal Clear Intentions card. And they're saying that this card relates to both of the previous areas that we're talking about, both in your career changes and in your relationships. So with regard to career stuff, they're saying that this is time to be very, very clear with people around you that you may be working with as far as wanting to make that change that you are getting ready for. It's time to communicate that the change has come, and I'm ready to focus on what I now desire with unwavering faith and focus. Like you're pulling back an arrow and you're shooting at that target. You're focusing all of your strength on it and just let it go and go forward. So crystal clear intentions. Don't think about what you don't want. Don't worry. And kind of focus on what could potentially go wrong, because if you did that, then you'd be aiming your arrow elsewhere. If you are sitting here pulling back your arrow, thinking about all the places it could hit that weren't your target, you're worrying, oh, it might hit over there by the tree or way over this side of the target, and then I would be so unhappy if it did. Then if you start thinking about those places, your arm will start to naturally just waver. Your body will start to think, because your eyes will naturally go there. And then you might very well hit the thing that you're worrying about hitting. So with your crystal clear intentions, you focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. And just that. There is no need for worry. The worry does not help us. And with regard to your relationships, they're saying that this similar message kind of goes in the realm of relationships. They're saying that if there has been any, again, introspections, any worries or anything like that, any, kind of thoughts about the future, they're saying it's time to communicate them, but really focus on the positive. And the positive is what you know that you want already. You have a good idea of what you desire and what you deserve in life. And it's time to just be crystal clear about that and to trust that that is what is being delivered to you in life, in the universe. They actually never really like to give us a sense of how long will I be with my partner, or when will this happen. Sometimes they give us a ballpark, but with relationship stuff, they're saying that this is your free will, my darling. This is your free will, and you have the ability to choose this, to co-create this. But what needs to happen first is that conversation with Caleb. It's that communication that needs to come forward. So have a crystal clear intention of what it is you want to experience and communicate with your partner, and that will help the two of you collaborate on determining the next step as you grow in this relationship. So that is what they have for you. I'm just going to see, it feels like they've got one last little message for you. So I'm just for fun going to pull one little card from our Mermaids deck. And I'm actually so glad that I did, because it goes right along with what we've been talking about. It's the Morning Affirmations card. And Morning Affirmations is a message that says, if you focus on positive affirmations, again, focusing just on the positives, the saying and thinking what you want to attract, then you're going to start to open the gates of manifestation and attract that thing. So if you have a desire to be something in your career, look at yourself in the eye, in the mirror, and say, this is who I am. I am that. And same with your relationship. Focus on affirming the positive, affirming what you want, and focusing on it without getting distracted by worries, and you will sure to be attracting it. So thank you, Rain, very much for your question. Let's go ahead and move on to our next reading for the day.
Beautiful. We actually had a comment. Someone said that it feels like all readings are readings for him. So
Good. I like that comment, actually, because that very often is true. Even if people don't get a chance to submit their question, or if they don't want to, they don't have a specific question, the angels will do that. They bring you to the right place and the right time in your life. And if you were meant to get some guidance, you're going to get it. So very often, for all of you that are listening, there's probably a little kernel of something for you in almost everybody's reading. So thank you for that comment.
yeah, definitely. I do want to thank everybody for listening and watching. Wherever you are, wherever you're listening or tuning in from, just want to thank you and say that we are grateful for you, and you do a great job in this world. So our our next reading is from Ariel, and she would like the Mermaids and Dolphins deck, and she would like a message on universal divinity.
Oh, okay, great. Ariel, you probably get this a lot, but I love that you picked the Mermaids and Dolphins deck because you share a name with a famous mermaid. That's great. So I'm pulling 3 mermaid cards for you, and we're going to focus on the topic of universal divinity. So the first thing that they're actually showing us, Ariel, before we even turn over the cards, is that you really do have a strong spiritual energy around you. They're showing us that you have a lot of intuitive abilities and a lot of curiosity about developing some deep psychic and spiritual abilities that you have inside of you. They're saying that at night when you dream, when you're sleeping, you do a lot of astral traveling. Many of us do this, but you're particularly doing this a lot during your sleep time at this time. And they're saying that it's almost as if you're on a spiritual journey or quest for truth at this time, that you're really starting to develop a lot of new energies, incorporated a lot of new energies. Your consciousness is getting a big download. It's opening up at this time. And I feel you on the other end going, wow, can it anymore? Because I feel like I've already been on such a wild ride. And your guides are nodding and saying, uh-huh, yes, it can. We're continuing to develop you and grow with you because you are, you've asked for it. You've signed up for it in this lifetime to have very lovely, mystical, spiritual connection. So I'm going to go ahead and turn over these cards. And the first card that we have is the Alchemy card. And this card is a card that answers your question in this way. It says that we, all human beings, as spiritual beings on this planet, have the ability to create magic, to manifest spiritually, to create, in other words, in the same way that God creates. And that's what alchemy is, essentially. So what alchemists believe, the ancient alchemists believe, is that the universe, all of existence, is a great mind, or we can think of it as a great mind in which we are all contained. So that sort of goes into that principle of as above, so below. So if I am, in my microcosm, a mind full of all sorts of different systems and things like that, and I am perceiving in nature, so too is the greater, the collective human consciousness is collected together in this big mind, and then so is, all of creation that is above it again. So the message that they have with regard to this universal divinity is this message right off the bat about our birthright, which is to be able to create, again, as God creates. And God creates with an unlimited supply of thought. There's an unlimited supply of your ability to imagine things, to think things up, and to desire things. And that's kind of why we exist, for the sheer deliciousness of desiring things, of imagining things, and of wanting things, of sharpening our focus while we are here on this planet in this unique and wonderful experience where we're constantly getting, bombarded with this ever-expanding new buffet of experiences that give us feedback as far as what we want and what we don't want. To quote one of my dear friends and wonderful thinkers and artists, it is an infinite rainbow nightmare spectrum. That's a turn of phrase from Zachary Winchester from Zach and What Army. And it's very true. It's that infinite rainbow spectrum of experiences that we have is what is constantly giving us our playing field for creating magic, for creating alchemy in this world. And you have the ability to create as God creates with your thoughts, and your thoughts attract your reality. So that's the first kind of message they have with regard to that. Our second message that we have from the second card is the Consult an Expert card. And there's actually two different things that are coming through with this. The first thing that's coming through is actually particularly just for Ariel. And that is that you have the ability to do spiritual teaching work. And so this is a message saying, learn everything that you can. Go ahead and consult, maybe your favorite spiritual teacher, or read a book authored by someone whom you respect in the spiritual world. Study, learn, and grow. And you have the ability to teach other people in turn, to help other people. You already do. You already model your wisdom very well in life by simply living in a way that is full of light, full of love, and full of awareness. That's really wonderful. The second part of this message pertains to the general question, which is about, divinity. And that is that we have the ability to consult higher beings at all times. That's another part of our birthright, that we are not alone in this universe as human beings. We're not orphans, here in our little third rock from the sun, just the only thinking beings out there. There are many, many other beings and higher beings, including the angels, including what many people refer to as God, which is the highest form of the consciousness that we are all contained within and created by. Our Creator is with us. Consult God, consult the angels, because they are here to guide your life. They are, and they have the ability to be as close to you as anything, as close to you as within your own heart, and they are guiding you all the time. So ask them questions, ask for their help, their support. These higher beings are here. God is with you. The final card that I have about universal divinity is the message Healing Hearts. And I love this because this is actually speaking to where we are collectively and what we're doing as a species together, as the human race together. So the healing heart is telling us that we as a species together are here not only, kind of just to evolve and, develop, in general, but for a particularly healing purpose. So we are sharpening and uplifting our consciousness. We're becoming more aware so that we can bring love. We can bring maybe a Christ-like or Christ consciousness, which is basically just to say a very loving awareness, universally loving awareness, into the collective world, so that we can shift to be a species that is ever more harmonious with one another, ever more loving. And we're going through that process of healing together. We truly belong to one another. That's what this message really, in truth, says, that there's no separation. So one person's joy is everybody's joy. One person's heartbreak is everybody else's heartbreak. So we belong to one another, and we are our brother's keepers. In other words, we have maybe a responsibility to exist in such a way where we are mindful of bringing about a world that is ever more nurturing, ever more healing, so that we can pass along the world and the community and the families and so forth, the society that we have, to the next generation, and let them take the reins after us and help us continue to refine this incredible, beautiful thing that is happening here in the human race. So have at it, beautiful light worker Ariel. You are definitely here to be a part of all of that. So thank you so much for that wonderful question. That was a very beautiful topic to bring about for all of us today. So let's go ahead and go for our next reading.
Thank you, Ariel, for tuning in and taking part in these card readings tonight. Our next request comes from Stacey. She would like the Archangel's deck and a general reading.
All right. Thank you, Stacey. So I'm just going to pull some cards now from the Archangel's deck. I've got 3 cards. And here we go. Our first card is Life Review. This card is saying that it looks like you've come to a crossroads for yourself. It's time to take inventory of your life and to perhaps resolve to change or heal anything that might be unbalanced, or to kind of release anything that is done and over with your life. It feels like there's some chapters that have maybe come to a close. The angels are kind of showing us symbolically, it looks like you're graduating. They're showing us a cap and gown, like you're graduating to the next level, the next phase, next chapter in life. So it's time to just do a little bit of soul searching and to think of, all right, what kinds of next steps do I want to take? What sorts of experiences do I want to have? What are my passions? And they want you to know that your feelings are what you are meant to follow as far as shaping the new in your life. Don't follow what is, more practical, or, what seems to be more safe, quote unquote, in terms of your path. Follow where your passions are leading you, because your passions are safe and are practical. If you don't follow your passions, then you'll wind up somewhere down the road in life thinking, where did all the time go? Why am I so lost or unfulfilled, or da-da-da-da-da? So many people are ending up that way, and then they're taking the pills, and then they're joining the support groups of all the people that just didn't follow their feelings. The simple thing that you can do is follow your feelings, and you will know exactly what you want to do with your life. You will find your sense of purpose, meaning, and drive as you move forward. The second card is Gentleness. And it's a card that reminds you to be very gentle with yourself this time, because it looks like you are sensitive. There's some emotional sensitivity that is coming up as old chapters end and new chapters begin. And they're saying that it's also good to have extra gentle, quiet, silent time to yourself in order to give yourself some time to really think and to feel all of your feelings and to sort through this life review that's going on for you. So give yourself the quiet time in order to make that life review happen, and you'll know exactly what you want out of this situation, exactly what you want to do. The final card that we have for you is the Patience card. And the Patience card is wonderful because it's saying that your dreams are actually blooming more rapidly than you realize, but still they need a little bit more patience. And I love this because it goes along with the kind of theme that's been stringing along, which is saying, don't worry, guys. You've planted some seeds. You've asked for something. You've decided that there's something you really desire in your life. But it's time for you to be patient. Those seeds need to be watered. They need some time in the sunshine for you to just wait and breathe with them, and then those new things will come about. So have patience, and know that the patience is something that we can even be grateful for, because divine timing works in such a way that we don't instantly manifest things as soon as we dream about them, so that we can have time to reflect and refine what our desire is or our goal is. So sometimes you think there's one thing that you want, and if it doesn't come about right away, we go, oh no, but you know what? Along the road to getting there, we're going to refine a whole lot of things about what it is that we want, and we're going to grow a whole lot on the way. And that growth is what we came to this planet to live a life for. So enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey. It's not about where we're arriving, it's about enjoying right now. There are a lot of really beautiful things happening for you. So thank you for your question. Let's go ahead to our next reading. Looks like we have time for at least one, maybe two more.
All right, the next one will be Nicole. She would like the Mermaids deck and would like to know about pregnancy.
All right, Nicole. So I'm going to pull our 3 cards from the Mermaids deck for you. And as I'm connecting with your energy, Nicole, I love that this question came exactly when it did, because it really, I'm getting that same stream of energy about patience and gentleness for you. It feels like your fertility is kind of raising and all that sort of thing as you just relax and get patient with the process. They're saying something, they're saying the timing's got to be right, and it will be perfect. And they're saying soon. They really are saying soon. For you, your seed has already come up, and it's just it's like we're waiting for the flower part to bloom now. So yours is soon. So the first card that we have is the Watch Your Thoughts card. They're saying that this is a very important card because it says it wants you to know that your body immediately responds to the thoughts that you hold in your mind. So this is another, kind of underscore of one of the messages that came before with regard to think about what you desire, not about what you may be fearing in life. Don't worry about, anything that's stressing you out, whether it goes from other people's naysaying or, anything that may be coming about that's, kind of stressing you or making you feel pressured. Just let all of that go. This is your life and your life alone. You deserve your happiness, and your baby, this pregnancy, your baby wants to be with you. The next baby wants to be with you. It looks like a very special little soul. I'm getting an energy of somebody who is very, very new soul kind of energy, like one of those, like we were talking about before, crystal children, or maybe even a rainbow child, one of these next step spiritually evolved sort of people that are coming through. Very rambunctious, joyful energy with this little being. So that is something to be expected. I love our second card. Our second card is Waves of Prosperity. And this card has 2 meanings behind it. The first is that new abundance in the realm of both opportunities to be supported physically, household-wise, financial-wise, care-wise is coming to you at this time. So, the extra room in your budget, or the extra room in your home or in your family, routine life is all, kind of starting to really manifest and ripple out and create room for the new baby when it's time for the pregnancy to start. And Waves of Prosperity, they're saying that Waves of Prosperity also refers to fertility. Prosperity is usually signified by a cornucopia, and it's a sign of fertility as well. It's a sign of fertile earth, as well as fertile you. So they're saying that they're really, really helping you with fertility and with pregnancy, and they're saying that timing is kind of the thing to look for. So just don't give up. Have patience. Really work with the process. And they're saying this: sync up your cycles to the moon. They're giving me a very, very, very clear image of you syncing up your cycles with the moon. And they're saying that all you have to do is just notice where the moon is in terms of your cycles. So you may have been charting your fertility. Chart the moon's progress as you go with your fertility, and notice any emotional sensitivity that may come up at certain times during the moon cycle and your cycle, and notice where there may be some correlations, because you can use the moon as an indicator of how to relax, take care of yourself, or energize yourself, or when to make a move. They're also saying something really, I think it's kind of cool. They're saying rituals. They're saying that there is spiritual manifestation that you can do to invite in this pregnancy. They're saying that you're going to get pregnant in perfect timing anyway. So it feels like it's not something that we can, force. It's like, okay, next time, the next try is going to be the one. It's more like, okay, it's going to happen when it's going to happen, and it feels like it's going to happen within a bracket of a few months. It feels like within 5 months, maybe even. It'll happen sometime very soon. So, don't worry that you're gonna have to wait forever. But yeah, keep your thoughts really high about it, and maybe plan it with regard to God and the angels. Consult spirituality, consult spirit, and say, okay, God, I'm ready to have this ritualistic moment where I'm going to prepare my body, going to prepare my mind, going to prepare my spirit, and I'm going to thank God and welcome in this new child into my world. The last card that we have is a new dawn. And I love this card reappearing again for us, because it's a card that's saying that you're about to have some big changes in life, big change in the status of your family. They want you to know that your family life has a big, supportive, wonderful backbone at this time. And your body really wants to be reminded of that. It's saying that, it wants to be reminded that this time around with your pregnancy, you are very, very supported. You're going to have a very calm, kind of drama-free, very loving, nurturing pregnancy, because you've got a stellar partner by your side. And the two of you would make great parents together, and it's going to be a new dawn in your family and your relationship and for your whole life. So that's a great sign. Saying that there's going to be a new dawn is a sign coming from your guide saying you're sure to get pregnant. So I am so excited for you. Don't forget to keep your thoughts positive, really listen to your feelings, and make sure that you just release any stress out of your life at this time, because your body responds to all the little delicate things around you. So just take good care of yourself, get really just happy and joyful and self-indulgent, and that's going to boost your fertility big time. All right, let's go on with our next reading. We'll have time for sure for one more.
Okay, definitely. And it's funny because a bunch of people are just joining the chat now. But we will have Sarah again in 2 weeks, so everybody keep that in mind.
All right, great.
The next question is from Maria, and she wants to know when she will find a job, and she would like the Archangels deck.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to come over here to our Archangels deck. Shuffle, shuffle, and pull some cards for us. Okay, Maria, so they're saying that it looks like, actually I'm feeling guided towards 4 again, and I always listen to guidance when they tell us to do a different number of cards. They're saying that it looks like there have been some changes in your life with regard to some sort of status. There's some sort of different new thing that you've done. So whether it be that you recently maybe learned a new skill, or at least maybe learned a new life lesson, I feel like that is informing the next step that you're going to be taking with regard to your job. They are giving us a message that's saying that time is of the essence, and they're saying that the more and more you put yourself out there on a daily basis, the more you're going to be, getting a lot of good feedback and good opportunities, catching fish on the other end of that, the nets that you cast out into the world. So they're saying that with regard to your job, they're saying make sure that you're emotionally ready for it, because it looks like maybe in the past there was this sense of, oh, I just want to take a break, or oh, I need some time to myself to really be introspective and really think of, what I want or what I need at this time. And that desire to rest and, kind of have some alone time has maybe just slowed down the process a little bit as far as attracting the next job, because you needed the time you needed a little bit of time to yourself internally, or you asked for it in some way, shape, or form. But now it looks like you really are ready. So they're saying do a little bit of, kind of internal, kind of thinking about it, and just tell yourself, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to now just very strongly put that vibe out into the universe. Now I'm ready. The first card that we have from the Archangels is Spread Your Wings. And that is what essentially that I am ready says. It's the card that says don't hold yourself back anymore. It's time to spread your wings. Time is of the essence and the timing is perfect. You are ready to soar, jump forward, and take action without delay. The second card is the Patience card again. And I tell you guys, I shuffle these cards every single time, and I pick totally randomly from all different places throughout the deck, and these same cards come forward for a reason. There's 44 of them in each deck, by the way, so this is definitely a theme for us. Patience. They're saying that your dream job is, you're attracting it more rapidly than you realize. And they're saying that it's time to just get out there in the world, and it feels like person-to-person communication and person-to-person connections is what's going to help you to attract it more quickly than anything else. Because people need to feel and sense out your bright and shining presence and personality, as well as you get to go ahead and feel out the energy of a workspace, of your maybe co-workers and things like that. So go ahead and put yourself out there, and just have faith that as long as you're taking a few steps every single day towards this goal, that you are going to attract exactly what you need. Let's go ahead and move on to our last two cards. So the last two cards are really great because they characterize the sort of environment, or job field that they want you to be looking in. We have the Gentleness card paired with the Passion card. So this is a sign saying that it's time for you to now be in a job field or surrounding that is gentle. It looks like the last job or situation that you were in was maybe a little bit stressful. It looks like it had a lot of high energy, a lot of strenuous, kind of tense energy around it. So they're saying now it's time for a job that doesn't zap your energy away. It's time for a situation that is calm, comfortable, easy paced, kind people, patient people around you. That's what we have to move towards. It's not this rush, fast-paced environment, but a patient, relaxed, gentler, sweeter environment. And they're saying also for the Passion card that this job needs to reflect your passions, needs to reflect what you're good at and what you like, what you love to do. Trust and follow passion that you have in your career at this time, and just follow it. They want you to know too that they're helping to support you in the meantime before you maybe manifest that next step, that next dream job. So don't stop looking until you find the job that makes you really feel like I have arrived, I am home, this feels great, and it looks like you'll be supported along the way to getting there, particularly by helpful, loving friends and family members that may be around you at this time, being really encouraging and saying, okay, go get them, kind of thing. So good luck with your job search. And again, it looks like this is something that can be right around the corner. I'm getting the sign of within 3 months, I'm seeing you in a job that is really fulfilling. So it may be that you find one well before 3 months, and that by that 3 months, you are fully in the stream of things, really, collected and in the stream of things. But it feels like it's right around the corner for you, but still have a little bit of that patience, and remember to look for something that feels like it's the right fit, follows your passions, and is gentle to your sensitivity. Thank you so much for your question, Maria. So it looks like we are just at the end of our time together, everyone. Thank you so much again for having me, Project Bring Me to Life. I love you guys so much. Again, everybody remember to wear your sensitivity raincoats out in the world. If you're feeling some of this new moon energy intensely, simply by shielding your energy, you can do energy work on yourself to help shield yourself and feel more clear. And if you need help with energy work, I actually offer free guided meditations on YouTube that do guide you through doing a lot of energy work, such as guided chakra clearing or maybe cord cutting, things like that. So you can go ahead and Google search me in YouTube, and something will probably come up, and you can do one of those, and that could help. Otherwise, I would love to connect with you personally. If anybody wants their own reading before when I'm back in 2 weeks, you can check out my website at www.seraphim.com and get a hold of me, ask me your questions, and we'll find a time to connect. Again, thank you so much, and I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. It's always a pleasure to have you on. And if you wanted a reading but didn't end up getting one tonight, don't worry, because in exactly 2 weeks we'll have Sarah back on again. And you can like us on Facebook, Project Bring Me to Life, YouTube.com/Project Bring Me to Life, and you can tweet us at PBM12 and let us know you were listening. And you could even send us your email so that we can send out email reminders to everybody when this is going to happen again. So, yeah. You had a Twitter too, didn't you, Sarah?
I do. I am on Twitter now. I'm at twitter.com/seraphim444. So yeah, follow me on Twitter too. I'll post some fun stuff.
Yeah, I'll make sure to type that out in the chat for everybody.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yep. So everybody have a beautiful rest of the week. Enjoy it. And sending you all the love. Everybody have a great night. We love you. See you again in 2 weeks.
Bye.